Hi there, my name is Philip Bauman. I'm a high school senior at Three Rivers High School, and this is my informative speech. Did you know over 90% of parts that are in cars, trucks, trailers, everything in between that is automotive, such as a four-wheeler to a Polaris, all come from one solid place? All these parts come from a single place called a foundry. A foundry is the foundation for a part. Many people don't know what a foundry is and believe that some things just come out of the air, or some just come out randomly, like with Amazon nowadays. Things come instantly. You don't have no idea where they come from. But today I'm going to explain to you where the parts in your cars, trucks, trailers, everything in between actually comes from. And why is this important? Because you need to know where things come from, as having a better understanding of the quality of your part and have a better understanding of where is the part made. Is it a good quality part or a good quality manufactured good where you could enjoy it to its fullest capabilities, or is there defects that you don't see that you think might be normal? And so we're going to go over today what is a foundry and what is the processes of the foundry. To start with my research I've done, in simplified terms, a foundry is a factory where castings are produced by metal of any sort, from gray iron to aluminum to ductile. And so with that, a foundry is the melting of metals at a certain temperature. So the industry we're going to be talking to you today about is the gray iron side. The gray iron is the gray iron industry, not the ductile or aluminum side of the foundry industry, which is made for different types of parts. But the foundry, in the instance, is burning down gray iron at a temperature of 2700 degrees till it's the melting point of that temperature. And then once it hits into the liquid form, it is going to be put into a mold, where that mold is the mold is the part where you make the part. So you need a mold to make the part. And after that will be transitioned into the part where it will be machined down into like the shiny fixture, such as this. So when you think of parts, you think of nice, shiny, very nice gray. But in a foundry, in essence, is just that. So something very rough, something that is not. But after, you have your divots, you have your specifications, your specialized order within there to make it all shiny and have its purpose. And did you know from my research that over everything produced, a foundry is not based on fire, it is actually based on electricity. So it is run on electric coils, and there's no flame at all in a foundry except the molten iron that is being poured out. Alrighty. Next, what are the processes of the foundry? So what is the process of my part or my bolt going through before I receive it in my hands? So the process of the foundry is simple, that people think that it's just, you're just melting metal. But it's a lot more in depth. There's a lot of chemistry involved and everything in between. And so the main processes of the foundry, like I said, we're going to be focusing on the gray iron, which is a lot different than aluminum. Aluminum burns a lot at 900 degrees compared to gray iron, where gray iron is roughly 2700 degrees, so over 1,000-degree difference. So that's where it comes into play. You got to get your temperature up that high. But to begin, the first part of the process is scrap. So scrap will be dropped into the scrap bay from semi-trucks, access scrap within someone's facility. And then that scrap is going to be picked up by a mag crane or a magnetic crane. That magnetic crane is going to pick that scrap up. That scrap is going to be picked up over into a cleaning system. That cleaning system will clean off all elements of that dirt, water, everything that can knock off the chemistry when melting that product down, so you don't have any defects, warps, porosity, anything like that at all while making the part. And then also after that, it's going to be transferred over to the furnace. That furnace is going to be picked up by an electrical charge bucket. That charge bucket's going to pick it up. It's a big claw machine like that, and it's going to go over to that furnace at 2700 degrees to be liquefied. That liquefied metal now will be dumped into, it will be in the furnace. Now that furnace is going to tap into a bull ladle. That bull ladle will transfer back and forth, side to side, into a DESA machine. That DESA machine is a simple name for a molding machine. So like I said, when you make a part, you will need a mold. So there's going to be one side here, they'll compress together. A small funnel will run through and make that part. And then everything around it is considered a gate, and the gate is just access stuff that is not a part. And so like I said, so we're going from raw scrap, like machined gates, etc., things that are not a part, picking them up by a mag crane into a cleaning system, then from that cleaning system into a charge bucket to be dropped over a furnace, to be then melted down and put into a DESA machine, which we know now as a molding machine. Once it's done there and it has the part indent, we will be sent off to the finishing department. So it's going to go through a bunch of lines to get everything that out of that part that is not a part. And when in the finishing department, they will inspect it for porosity, flash, etc., indents, like I said earlier, that you don't want to happen if your chemistry was off. And so once it goes through shakeout and inspection, it's going to be sent out to our customers. But did you know over 50% of the world's foundries are actually based in China? That's why many times you see that Chinese label on parts and products, from clothes to automotive parts, everything in between. But with all this information with a foundry and the processes behind the scenes, I hope you all have a better understanding of what a foundry is and where do your parts come from. Oh, I know this part, this metal gray iron part comes from a foundry. That foundry is melting at 2700 degrees. That goes through inspection to see if it's up to quality. It's machined perfectly for what it's supposed to do. I wanted to say thank you so much.